done so already, click on subscribe, click on the bell, then you'll get notifications about new videos. Hello. Now we're almost out of lockdown, I've managed to have a haircut and I finally feel a little bit more human. Today, for a little bit of novelty, I'm going to tell an adaptation of the children's story The Three Little Pigs. Entitled Three Little Pigs Building a Home Test-Driven Development Challenge. If we consider a world like Minecraft, architecture in that environment is really easy to tear down and rebuild. Hey, you can remove the foundations of a building and leave the top half floating. If we could do that in real life, changing buildings and physical structures would be really easy. So if you think about that world, that Minecraft perfect world where you can destroy and create things without any real implications of things falling down or gravity being a real effect. If the three little pigs lived in that world, they could have approached their problem using test-driven development. So, the first little pig. Simple unit test that would kind of say that we need to build a structure that looks like a house and just maintains its shape. Easiest way to make that test pass, let's build it out of straw. That's nice and quick and it'll maintain its shape. That's great, test passed. So for the second little pig, we've added a little bit onto that criteria. We need to make the house watertight and withstand maybe some moderate changes in atmospheric pressure, i.e. wind. Quicker way to make that test, we'll build it out of wood and sticks. So we end up with a house that's a little more solid. First test we had was that it had a shape and maintained it. So it passes that test too. So we've done two tests and we've now got a building made out of wood that passes both tests. So the third little pig wants to make sure that the house stands up against more ferocious weather. So lashing rain, thunderstorms, high winds. Easiest way to do that is to build it out of brick. So it builds a house out of brick. And it passes the test. The second test of moderate wind and being watertight passes that too. And the first test of it holding its shape and looking like a house, it passes that too. So great, we've passed all three tests. So now we've got a brick house, but together the three little pigs want to make sure it's a bit more secure and is more useful for them to live in. They want to be able to have fire in the house, which previously with wood and straw wouldn't have really been safe. So the simplest way to make that pass is to put a stove in the centre of the house, chimney straight up the middle, so that you've got heat that dissipates through the whole house because it's central and it's easy access from anywhere in the house because it's in the middle. So now we've got a house built out of brick which has a stove, has a fire and a chimney in the middle. It holds off weather and rain, is watertight, looks like a house and holds its shape. So all the tests we've laid out are passed by this one building. Then they encounter the wolf. So they want to make sure the house is secure against wolves. So they check that the wolf can't blow the house in. No problem, the brick house is fine. They make sure that if the wolf tries coming in the chimney, it lands straight in the cooking pot because it's in the middle of the house and just under the chimney. That test passes too. So without any explicit effort, they've actually made a house that is secure against wolves. iterative approach would be far too costly and time consuming, but in the world of software, it shouldn't be. The cost of change should be so low and making adjustments so easy that this sort of thing isn't a problem. That's why making sure that your code is well written and clean and can be changed and there's no fear of changing it is important. When we're writing code, we only ever get our house blown in when we fail to maintain the integrity of our existing behaviours, i.e. we fail regression. That's where automated tests like unit tests help us maintain that regression integrity. And sometimes, as with the three little pigs, we can get to the point sooner than we think we would where we've actually solved the problem. Even if in the heart of our hearts we know a test is just going to pass, we should still write it. The fact that we've thought of that scenario means that there is some value in making sure that it does work. And hey, it might be that test that saves you bacon later on.